Hi, I'm Carmen Jones, and I'm with the Indigenous Sport and Wellness Ontario, and just want to thank them because it's because of them we're bringing these videos to you today. So this is a continuation of last week, and last week we did videos about wedges, about your putter, and about your irons, and how to pick good equipment and the equipment that fits you personally. So this week we're going to be focusing on the long game, okay? So we're going to be talking about hybrids. What is a hybrid? Why do I need a hybrid, or do I need a hybrid? The second thing we're going to talk about is woods. What's the difference between a 3 and a 5 wood? Do I even need a wood, or what am I going to be using it for? And lastly, we're going to be talking about the driver and what am I going to accomplish with this club, and does the driver that I'm using right now fit me? So we're going to be asking those questions, and I'm going to be helping to answer those questions. So grab your hybrid, grab your wood, and grab your driver, and let's get started. First, we're going to be talking about hybrids, okay? So what is a hybrid? A hybrid is this club right here, and as you can see, it looks kind of like an iron and it looks like a wood. It's kind of a cross between the two and kind of the same concept. And that's what a hybrid is, okay? So the hybrids, they have the same lofts, and they are supposed to replace our longer irons, okay? Because our longer irons, just like this one, they are a lot harder to hit than, say, for instance, like a wood or a hybrid here, because there is very little center of gravity. So really quickly, what is center of gravity? So as you can see here, I put this flat on the ground like this, and the center of gravity is probably right here, really close to the face here, okay? So that means that this ball is going to go a little bit lower. It's not going to go as high, and it's going to launch lower, and there's going to be less spin, okay? So for this hybrid here, as you can see the mass of it, the center of gravity is probably here, okay? And it's going to launch the ball higher, there's going to be more spin on it, and it's going to land softer, which means it's not going to run out as much. So that's the difference between hitting a 4-iron hybrid and a 4-iron. The 4-iron hybrid is always going to go higher, just because that's what this club is designed to do, okay? So I would suggest, you know, if you're having trouble hitting your longer irons, just go to a hybrid, especially if you are not swinging the club very fast as well, because you need a little bit more club head speed to get this club airborne, okay? You're going to need a lot more speed to get that club airborne. For this one, you're not going to need as much club head speed, so I would say to get one of these. When you are getting a hybrid, all of the hybrids are made out of graphite shaft. So very similar to the iron, that you are going to need the right shaft, just like I talked about last week. You're going to need the right shaft, and that's really, really important, the shaft, because that's going to determine the forgiveness of it, but also determine the height as well. If you're trying to achieve a certain height with your hybrid, the shaft is really going to be important for that. The loft is really important too, because you want to know which club are you going to be replacing. If you're replacing a 4-iron hybrid, you're going to need a 4-iron loft, okay? Vice versa with a 5, with a 6, with a 3, and with a 2, okay? And then the lie is not going to be as important, because since this is a flatter face, that if I turn it this way, this face is still pointing towards the target, okay? Even if I go up like this, it's still pointing towards the target, okay? So loft is a little bit important, so you know, you might want to check that out, but it's not as important as it is for like the wedges. If this was a wedge, and as soon as I turn it, you can see it just by turning the face that is going to have higher loft, and is going to go shooting that way more and shooting that way more to the right. So get fit for your hybrid, and they are way more forgiving, and you're really going to enjoy your game of golf more if you have a club that you're actually hitting well. All right, now we're going to talk about woods. And what is a wood? Do I need to carry a wood? And why is it called wood? Because this thing is metal, right? This thing is metal right now. So where the name originated from is that golf clubs were originally made out of woods. Like the driver was a 1 wood. There's a 3 wood, it was wooden. There's a 5-wood, it was made out of wood. They didn't use metal back in the day. Now the game has really evolved, and now they are metals and made out of metal. Thank God, because that means more distance for me, more distance for you. And so yeah, there's been so much technology that has happened, and it's all, again, the technology is there to make you hit the ball better, to make you hit it higher, to make you hit it softer, so you can have more accuracy and also keep your ball in play more. So I have an older 3-wood metal, as you can see here, and this is titanium. It's a titanium face, okay? So this is a 3-wood. So the difference between a 3-wood and a 5-wood is the loft, okay? So the woods, they are easier to hit because they have a bigger face, bigger mass, and you know, the center of gravity is further back, okay? So again, what I said about the hybrids, the center of gravity is more back here, so it's gonna pop the ball up higher, okay? So that's one advantage. The next advantage is that, you know, that if we are gonna be hitting this off of the tee and we're hitting this well, sometimes we're gonna be wanting to hit this more off the tee than our driver. So what we have to really ask ourselves is, what are we gonna be using our wood for, okay? What are we gonna be using it for? Are we gonna be using it to be versatile? Are we gonna be using it off the fairway? Are we gonna be using it off the tee? Where are we gonna be using this, okay? So with that being said, we are going to have to make our decision based on that, okay? When picking a wood, it's very important to have a shaft that you have in mind. So again, just like your irons, just like your hybrid, you need to have a good shaft because it's going to be more forgiving for you, and also it's going to give you the right trajectory of your ball, okay? I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the technology here, okay? So you're going to see this kind of in the driver, is that there is a movable weight there. This is starting to become more of the trend with woods now, okay? So we have this red thing right here. That is a movable weight, okay? Now some of them, you can move it to the front, to the back, and the idea is the more weight you have back here, the higher the ball is going to go, okay? And one more thing that I want to kind of talk about is that this shaft here, is that you can see this screw right here. I have a tool that I can use, and as you can see, I can add loft to this club, or I can de-loft it to make the ball go lower or higher that way. So there's a lot of versatility with some of the new technology that we have, okay? So again, get fit, see what setup works for you. And again, you know, usually when you have these kind of clubs that are adjustable, they usually just stay in one setting for you, but you can adjust it. But you know, just to let you know that that there is adjustability, but you're more than likely just going to be keeping it to one setting, okay? And a lot of this stuff you're going to be seeing in our next thing, and we're going to be talking about the driver. Lastly, but definitely not least, we're going to be talking about the driver, okay? So I have 2 drivers here, okay? And obviously what we're going to be doing for a driver is that there's so many things with there's different manufacturers you can choose from. There's different things you can choose. It's all based on what you want. You know, if you want a driver that's really, really adjustable, there's a manufacturer that does that. There's also drivers that are not adjustable, and there's manufacturers that do that too. So I'm going to show you kind of a difference and a comparison with the two. So I have a driver here. There's no movable weights in this driver. There's no movable weights. You can move this one here. You can if you want, but that's the only place that it stays, okay? You can also adjust the loft by the same way that I showed you with the 3-wood, that you can just screw this out, and then you can, you know, give this club more loft, or you can give it less loft, okay? So that's something that you can do with this. As you'll notice, all of the drivers are about 460 cc's now, okay? So that means that this whole area here is 460 60 cubic centimeters. That's how much mass is in this, okay? All of the drivers. So I would suggest getting a driver with 460. Even the tour pros, they have 460 all the time, okay? I'm going to show you a little bit different driver, and this has a little bit more adjustability. Same deal, that, you know, I can take this driver out, I can take this weight out, and my other driver, you can switch these two weights around. You even have some weights that slide around from this side to this side, depending on if you have problems with slicing. And the other thing is that I can take this screw here as well out and change the shaft, and I can also adjust the loft. You can see there it says -1, and this is a 9-degree driver. So since I took a loft off, this will be an 8-degree driver now, okay? So we're gonna be hitting these off the tee very rarely, or I wouldn't even suggest hitting it off of the ground, because as you can see here, the center of the club face is right here, okay? So if you're hitting it off the ground, you're gonna be actually hitting the ball somewhere around here on the lower part of the face, okay? So you're not gonna get as much as you can, and it's not gonna be the best shot either. But just so you know that, you know, you're always gonna be hitting this off of a tee, okay? So those are some options to have. Again, very important, shaft flex, the kind of shaft you have in a driver is really gonna give you forgiveness, and is really gonna, you know, show you what kind of trajectory you're going to have and what's gonna work best for you. A lot of people slice the golf ball, they have problems with that, and that's what the adjustability in the shaft can do, and that's what the adjustability in the weights can do, is really help you with your slice, or if you duck hook the ball, it can really help to correct those. Well, thanks again for joining me this week, and hopefully all of this information on hybrids and woods and drivers was very useful to you. I know that was a lot of information just to digest, but now hopefully you're able to pick a good hybrid, that you're going to get one that's fitted for you. You're going to have the shaft that's a good fit for you, so you can make good shots. And also with hitting the hybrids, that you're able to make good contact and able to get that ball airborne and a higher shot with the longer irons, and that you're able to replace maybe your longer irons with a hybrid. So think about that. Also with the woods, that you're able to pick a wood now, whether you're going to be hitting it off of the turf or where you're going to be hitting it off of the tee, you know, that you're able to, you know, pick the right shaft for you and have somebody fit you for the right shaft and the right club for you. And last, the driver, that, you know, you can, in all of these clubs, just keep in mind that you can specifically have a club that's made for distance, or you can specifically have a club that's just made for accuracy. But the balance is that you want to find a golf club that is fit for you, that has distance and accuracy together, okay? That's what you really want. So hopefully all of that information was helpful. And I want to thank Indigenous Sport and Wellness just for putting together these videos and their partnership in making these videos possible for you guys, the viewers. So next week, what we're going to be talking about is I'm going to be doing the full swing with the wedge, a full swing with the irons, and a full swing with the driver, okay? So take a look for that, and I'm going to be doing some grip, some stance, some posture, and ball position, okay? And what does that look like? All right, so again, if you like what you see, please comment on this video, and yeah, let me know what you guys think. Let me know if this is helpful to you. And yeah, so I will see you next week. Please like and subscribe, comment below, and go play some golf. Talk to you later.